video, we are going to talk about using integration by parts to evaluate an integral. So when we have something that's either a logarithmic, inverse trig, polynomial, exponential, or trig function multiplied by one of the others, chances are we're using integration by parts. Now you should check to make sure that this isn't a U substitution problem where your multiplication is really just the derivative of an inside function. But most of the time it's going to end up being an integration by parts scenario. So the way I like to handle integration by parts when I have limits of integration, so here we have 1 to e, is I like to first ignore them. So let's first consider just the integral of x times ln x. Now when I look at this, I see that I have a polynomial and a logarithmic function. So since logarithmic is above polynomial in Lipit, I will choose my u to be ln x. And that means dv is going to be x. Now recall, this u and dv are coming from our integration by parts formula, which tells us that u dv, integral of that, will be u times v minus the integral of v du. So now we have to find du. Well, we find that by taking the derivative of natural log x. So that'll be 1 over x dx. And then we have dv, so we have to get the antiderivative of that to find v. So we're finding v is then 1 half of x squared. Technically this dv here should have a dx tacked onto it. Now we just plug into our formula. So we have u times v minus the integral of v du. Now I try to simplify and integrate. So we have 1 half x squared ln x minus 1 half the integral of just x, because we see we have an x here that cancels our square power. Now we do know how to integrate x, so let's just take its antiderivative. And if this really were an indefinite integral problem, I should put a plus c on the end. But since I know I'm doing a definite integral here, where I'm integrating from 1 to e, I'm going to ignore my plus c. It will just cancel. It's a definite integral. Well, we know that that integral will be 1 half x squared ln x minus 1/4 x squared. And we're going to evaluate that from 1 up to e. So now we just plug in. So when we look at this, the natural log of e is 1, and the natural log of 1 is 0. So we get 1 half e squared minus 1/4 e squared plus 1/4, which brings us to 1/4